Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Cabman2013 and this is the Trash Review. Now this is the 4th episode in, but I get that some of you may be new to what this is and what exactly we do here on the Trash Review. So let me tell you, here at the Trash Review, we rate objects, games, characters, and pretty much anything else we could think of on a 1 to 5 junk scale. On each episode, we take an in-depth look at gameplay and analyze what exactly makes this topic so trash. And at the end of it all, with a Super Trash Gamer's stamp of approval, we give it a final junk score. But that's not all. We leave it up to you guys, the viewers, to comment and leave your feedback on what you think of this trash topic and where you think it should be on the junk scale, or if it should even be there at all. At a later time, we could come back to this object and either take it off the junk scale, give it a better score, or give it a worse score depending on what you guys think or what we think over time. Now, you guys might be thinking, how do the Super Trash Gamers score these? And that's a very good question. Let me show you.
Let's take a look at each score and what they mean. Here at the Trash Review, the best score you can get is biodegradable. This score means that you aren't the best in the world, but you are close to being good and have the best chance to make it off the junk scale and help the community again. Next in line we have recyclable. If you get this score, then this means you're good in some ways, but overall you are individually junk. With this score, you are moving down the junk scale and have only a slight chance of making it off. Coming in third, we have garbage can. This is a middle of the pack score and means you aren't the worst we have seen, but you definitely could be a lot better. With this score, you can make it off the scale, but it is highly unlikely. The trash heap. There's really nothing good coming from being a trash heap other than you aren't last. If you get this score, then you showcase a lot of issues and bugs. If you are scored a trash heap, you are disliked by many and will probably stay on the junk scale. Last and definitely least is the dumpster fire. This sounds exactly as its name, and if you get this score, you should be thrown into a dumpster fire. Essentially, this means you are awful from the beginning and have seen no real improvements. You are widely hated and stand no chance ever coming off the junk scale.
And now that you know what each score means and how we will use them, let's take a look at what today's topic is.
Today's topic is a mode
from
Infinity Ward.
It's classified as
NFPS.
it is.
Infinite Warfare Multiplayer.
That is right, today's topic is Infinite Warfare Multiplayer Mode. We believe here that the Zombies Ant campaign were pretty good and weren't really worth talking about here on the Trash Review. The multiplayer, on the other hand, has a lot of bugs and a lot of things that don't make sense. Let's start with the score streaks. It doesn't seem like they put a lot of effort into the score streaks. As you can see here, they pretty much have the same score streaks that you see in every other Call of Duty. Pretty much all they did was rename them. I mean, you got a Scarab, which is an RCXD, a UAV, a care package, a counter UAV, a Vulture, which is kind of a drone squad, the Trinity Rocket is a dart, then you got the Lightning Strike and the Hellstorm, and then you have the Sentry, the Attack Heli, which is called the Warden, the Advanced UAV, the Thor. The RC-8 is pretty much a Juggernaut from MW3, which makes sense because Infinity Ward also made MW3. The only two exceptions that I could make kind of a case for are the other two being the Thor and the Apex. You could argue that those are similar to other kill streaks we've seen, but they kind of stand alone in what they do. And let's move on to the specialists in this game. Now, they have 6 specialists. They all have different responsibilities. The Warfighter is for your assault rifle class, the kind of sitting back, sometimes run and gun player. Then we get on to the Merc, who provides the defensive support. Synaptic is for players like me who like to run and gun, a lot of close quarters combat. That's what its specialist abilities are fit to. And then comes the FTL, who is your tactical specialist, and for all you tactical players out there, this would be the one for you. Then we get on to the Striker, who is kind of the team player. It provides a lot of team support. I like to think of it as the support specialist. And then last but not least, the Phantom Specialist for those who like to use Prophet in Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3. This is kind of the class that you like to go to, and this will provide a lot of support for you. Now, with each specialist, you have a payload and a trait. Now, for each payload and trait, you have 3 options, which I'm not going to knock the game for, but my opinion is they could have spent more time on other things to improve the game. This is just way too many options that I like to see on the table, and a lot of these are just left unused because there's just too many options there. Now, some of you might like this idea, and that's cool. I'm not going to knock the game for it. This is not why it's on the trash review. I'm just more on the fence about it. Not really much to say about perks. They're pretty much the same old perks you see all the time. Some of them just have a different name, but they really didn't change a lot about perks, which is kind of sad for a futuristic game that is supposed to be different. How can you have a pastime game, a modern game, and a futuristic game have all the same perks? It kind of doesn't make sense, and I'm very disappointed that they decided not to put as much work into the perks in this game. But there is one bright side about the multiplayer mode that we haven't touched on yet, and that is the equipment. I do really like the equipment in this game, especially the drone grenade and the seeker mine. Those are my 2 go-tos, and they work very well. All of the other equipment on here is really good as well, especially the mine, which you can put in those really tricky camping spots that you know people are going to run to. And now, the classes. Now, you have your standard assault rifles, SMGs, LMGs, shotguns, sniper rifles, and this time they added a classic section. Let's start with the assault rifles. As you can see, they have a lot of energy rifles in this game. You know, it tends to go along with the futuristic vibe. You know, not a huge fan, but not a problem. They're just going with the theme. And throughout all the other sorts of weapons, you can see that they have a lot of energy type guns. Some of you also may not have a problem with this. The futuristic type is not really my thing, but again, I'm not going to knock the game for it. I didn't like the futuristic theme, but you know, if you want to be consistent with your game and your theme, you have to have weapons that match. Now, as I take you through the classes here and each category, you might notice this little diamond figure below the guns and different colors of those. You may be thinking, what do those mean if you haven't played this game? These actually are the variants for each weapon, and the variants that I've already unlocked for each weapon. Now, as you can see as I scroll through them, they change colors, different types of camos for it, and if you look above the gun, you can see that there's 2 abilities that come with each variant. I think this happens to be kind of cool. I like this idea, and I wish they would bring that to the next Call of Duty games that they make. For this specific weapon, the rare version has 2 special abilities. One being Scrambler. When I get kills with this sniper, it hides my teammates from enemy radar. And the second ability is I never lose my breath when scoping in, which is very good for anyone who likes to snipe. But for all you sniper fans out there, you might not like what this game has to bring for you guys, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, onto the modes. Now, you're always going to have your standard modes, your team deathmatch, your free-for-alls, your domination, your search, and recently Kill Confirmed, but for some reason in this game they combined Kill Confirmed with another mode called Grind, which doesn't really make sense to me. Kill Confirmed is a big enough mode where you can keep it on its own and just keep it that way. You also have your other fun party games like Gun Game and Infected, and for you bigger groups of friends, we have Ground War again. And as always, they have Hardcore and a new category called Competition, which is for all you competitive players out there. And for any new games they want to try out, you can take a look at the Featured category, and you can see all the new modes that they're putting in either for a weekend or a limited time, and go test the waters over there. And if you don't want to play through all the maps you've already played for a couple months and want to get straight to the DLC map, maps, well, they have a category for that too, which I think is kind of cool. But other than that, it unfortunately doesn't look like they spent a lot of time on modes. Infinity Ward games usually have a ton of modes, and in this one the story is a little bit different. Sniper players, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you? I mentioned that a little bit later on in my conversation. We were going to explain why you guys would not like this game. Well, let's take a look at the gameplay and dive into what exactly you guys wouldn't like about this. With the jetpacking and wall running, you guys would think this would be a heaven for you. Well, think again, because the map size does not favor snipers at all. All the maps in this game are fairly small and don't give you guys a lot of room to work with, which is okay if you're a run and gun quickscoper, but for all you snipers that like to lay back, which I don't care for you guys too much at all, then you guys are sadly mistaken and might want to switch to another game that is more sniper friendly. I myself am not a sniper at all. I'm pretty terrible at it, but I do have some gameplay here that shows you that even for a terrible sniper, it is really hard to get your shot off in such close quarters combat. I did get a couple kills here and there, but for the most part, I was getting pretty much destroyed in every battle that I had. If you think you can work with this spacing and you're a sniper lover, then by all means be my guest, but it might not be the outcome you're exactly looking for. It doesn't get much better for all you guys that love other guns as well. For all you running gunners out there, you guys will get extremely frustrated. Take it from one himself. It can work in your favor, but for the most part, the kill time is extremely fast. 1 or 2 hits and you're going down, which can work out for you at some points, but for the most part, it makes you so mad and it makes you just want to turn the game off. And since there's jetpacking and wall running, people can travel across the map at record speed. So if you're killing 1 to 2 guys here and there like you see in my video, don't expect to be going on such a hot streak, because one of their teammates will be sure to pull up behind you and ruin your whole day. And if you run into someone with a shotgun, well, you might as well just start pressing square, because you're going to be respawning soon. The shotguns are so OP in this game, and I have yet to see someone get a hit marker on me with a shotgun. I'm always down in 1 shot. And if you think shotguns are bad, try running into someone who has a Mach 2 class setup. As we take a look into the armory, also known as the quartermaster, you can see that Mark II guns can only be unlocked through supply drops, which means you have to pay to win. That's not something a regular grinded out gamer likes to hear, and that is one of the reasons that lands this game on the trash review. For some reason, if little Jimmy's out here spending $100 of his parents' money, he's unfortunately going to beat you every time in a gun battle. I have to mention that the UMP is one of my favorite guns of all time. That is pretty much the only thing I ever used in MW3 and will go down as one of my favorites. It is pretty cool that I'm able to pick one of my favorite guns and a classic in this game to use, but it does say something very important about this mode that you guys might not have caught on to. It shows me that the devs didn't really believe in their multiplayer mode or their class setups as a successful way to get this game to be profitable. So what did they do? They turned to old school guns that everyone loves and made their own category for them in the class setup. That shows me that they were desperate to get people on this game and desperate to keep them here by using their favorite guns. Although I did do pretty okay with it, as you can see here, I am not a fan of it in this game, and it will never be the same as Modern Warfare 3. So, Infinity Ward, stick to your theme and you won't have to resort to putting old guns in new games. After our analysis, it seems to be the conclusion that Infinity Ward put a lot of work in a lot of the wrong places in this multiplayer mode. From OP class setups, to small maps, to fast kill times, and plain out no effort put into some of the aspects of this mode like perks, along with too much work put into the options for the specialist, and even though I like it, the abilities for the variants of each gun. I did mention that I did like the equipment and the classic guns in the game, but unfortunately that is not enough to keep this mode off our junk scale. So, you guys have seen the scores. You've seen the in-depth analysis. It is now time to give the STG junk score. If some of the focus was just directed in the right way, this game could have been a huge hit. That is the reason why we decided to give it a garbage can. This mode definitely had some promise, but unfortunately it went down the wrong path, and with new Call of Duties being released every year, it is very unlikely that this mode will come off the junk scale. At the time, it could have been possible if they made the right choices, but now, a few years into the future, it most likely will never get worked on again. Now, for all you trash bags out there that would like to see us take a second look at this, please leave your comments below and let us know what you think of our score. And if there's anything you'd like the Super Trash Gamers to take a look at for the trash review, please don't hesitate to mention it. Now, you guys know the rules. Like, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and let all of your friends know about this channel. This has been the Trash Review, and as always, stay trashy.
Introduce you to us so you can see Super Trash Gamers, we the STG. Yeah, you know we got rolling CC311 Cat Band 2013. Got Sean through in 6, you know he a G. And if you think we suck, I'd have to agree. Come on, Super Trash Games, yeah, you know we the 3. And it's a rap if you against the STG.